Right now, we are seeing some smoldering spots from the Waldo Canyon fire, which is now the most destructive fire in Colorado history. And overnight, we learned that at least one person has died. The president is on his way to view the damage, and here we see him departing Joint Base Andrews a couple of hours ago. He's scheduled to arrive in Colorado Springs in an hour. The latest fire map shows 16,750 acres burned with no growth outside the perimeter overnight. And we are joined now by Mitch Jelniker and Ana Cabrera, who are tracking the fire.
Thank you, Bertha. Good news that the fire didn't grow anymore, but it's still only 15% contained. If you look over our shoulder, you'll see a couple of hot spots. This time yesterday, most of the mountains were kind of obscured by a thick haze of smoke, but you can still see some of these places are still causing those firefighters some fits. It's a little breezier today. I would guess we got to be close to almost 90, Anna. But the good news about these hot spots right now is they're not near any homes.
Some more good news. More residents are going back home. In fact, in just the last 10 minutes or so, we got word that the evacuation order was lifted for Commerce City Drive north from East Woodman to Pine Creek Drive. So as more residents are heading home and firefighters are gaining more containment, we've also learned that investigators are now at the home where the remains of one person were found just last night, and one person from that home is still missing.
And police say up to 10 more people are still unaccounted for.
We're still dealing with a lot of incomplete information from family members that have some information that these people were in Colorado Springs, possibly in the burn area earlier. So we're looking at a number of less than 10 that we're trying to track down, and hopefully we'll have some more information for you today.
Well, our crews have made it closer to the neighborhoods where those 347 homes burned. This is the Mountain Shadows and Flying W Ranch neighborhood you're looking at this morning.
And some residents saying they knew before last night their home was gone because of the aerial photos taken by John Wark that we showed you yesterday. Homes on 35 streets destroyed. Many owners learning for sure late last night.
We had already had an idea, but when we first found out that our house was destroyed, it was just, complete disbelief. Our brains just start kind of sifting through the memories of that house and all the items that we lost, that can't be replaced.
You got to think that there are so many thoughts flying through their mind. All that hope that their home was still standing, and then to learn that it was for sure destroyed. Those are the Larkins, and they say they're not exactly sure what they're going to do next. For now, they are staying with some family nearby.
So back here at the fire scene again, they feel like they made some good progress. The fire didn't grow anymore overnight. We're at 15% containment, but it's going to be a while, I think, before we get all this fire under control. Much of the containment they're working on today is over on Highway 24. That's been the highway that's been blocked off. And then try to do as much as they can during these morning hours. You can see the wind kind of picking up. It may pick up even more this afternoon as we get that typical afternoon storm pattern roll in to Colorado.
And now to the investigation into the cause of the fire. Officials still saying they do not know what caused this or who caused the fire, but they are asking people who may have been in the area where this fire started on Friday night, and that area is the Waldo Canyon or Pyramid Mountain. If you were there on Friday afternoon or evening when they believe the fire may have sparked, you're asked to give this phone number a call, and you should see it there on the bottom of your screen. It's 719-477-4205. And just a few hours ago, officials say they still have not been able to get to that area where the fire started.
We have not been able to determine cause yet because the on-the-ground resources, if you will, being able to get fire investigators into that area has not yet occurred.
Meantime, investigators are reviewing some photos and video first aired here on 7 News. This image was snapped by a cycling coach Saturday afternoon between 12:30 and 1 p.m. She took this photo while training athletes off Rampart Range Road, which is just west of Garden of the Gods. Well, once they saw the flames, they took off down that road, shooting video of the huge smoke plume as it grew.
Just looking back at the videos, seeing the smoke and how big and how fast it got. At the time we were watching it in kind of an amazement and taking photos and video, and now looking back realizing that it was maybe a little dangerous, and thankful that we got down safely.
Jane tells us they rode up around 11 in the morning, saw nothing but blue skies at that time. Well, that video was shot less than 2 hours later. An investigator met with Jane, by the way, immediately after our interview.
Now, this huge fire zone that you see behind us here that stretches quite a long distance along I-25 and to the west of the mountains. It's the northwest portion today of Colorado Springs, this direction, where residents have had those pre-evacuation, those evacuation orders lifted. They're getting back in there to take a look at their homes. We're specifically talking about the Pine Cliff subdivision, and that sits on a ridge just across from the burn zone. And we have a view that you're looking from the west, essentially. And it's far away, but 7 News captured video of what would look like to be a whole street just devoured by all the flames. This is in the Mountain Shadows neighborhood. One Pine Cliff resident was shocked to see just how many homes actually survived.
If it was just pure luck, if one house caught on fire and caught the next and those survived, I don't know. I'm amazed that there's so many.
Absolutely, with so many homes being lost. Now, the other thing, getting back to normal today over at the Air Force Academy, some of those areas on that property are opening back up, specifically the enlisted dormitory residents. They can all go back in, get back into those dormitories. So essentially normal operations, kind of getting back to normal anyway on the Air Force Academy today. Meantime, soldiers at Fort Carson, they're helping in this firefight, certainly. And the military sending us a video showing soldiers using some bulldozers to create a fire break right around the academy yesterday. You know, they were so concerned it might jump and get into the academy property. They've protected it from the fire, and many of them have also been helping in other areas of the fire since early this week.